Ross Gerber is with us, President and CEO of Gerber Kawasaki Wealth and Investment Management, and Garrett Nelson, Equity Analyst, CFRA Research. So glad to have you both on this day. What an exciting time. Ross, I'll start with you. You've always loved Tesla from the bottom of your heart. You're looking at a lot of the positives about its position, its growth, Austin, Texas, and Germany. Are you still a big Tesla bull? And I saw 975 as your target, and your best case was 1,300. Tell me a little bit about this scenario, Ross.
Well, essentially, we've got oil hitting $90 a barrel, gas prices gouging American consumers, causing tremendous inflation in the United States that really can be prevented if the shale producers would actually produce oil and help us out here in America. But they're not, because it's all about profits of the oil business. And it's been a wonderful development for Tesla because the demand for EV cars is off the charts. Everybody wants an EV. It doesn't matter even who makes them now. Everybody wants an EV, and Tesla is the most sought after brand in the EV technology market. So as they open up the Austin factory and begin Cybertruck production this year, we're very, very, very excited about this increase in capacity right at the opportune time when there's so much demand for their products. So it's a really, really exciting time for Tesla with an amazing new factory here in the United States, employing all U.S. workers. What a great sign of what a great American company Tesla has become.
And to your point, we will move on to, and I know you both have different targets, but similar in that you're both believers in the electric vehicles and Tesla in particular. So Garrett, I know you have a 1250 target and a buy rating. Tell me a little bit about Tesla's plans, the way they've been going. That would be the positive scenario.
Sure. 1250 is our base case over the next 12 months. And I would add, to Ross's comments, really all signs we think point to another very strong quarter for Tesla, which has now beat 8 of the last 9 quarters. They have a very impressive streak of earnings beats. We know what their production and sales were in the fourth quarter, and it was a record high, well above consensus expectations. And auto manufacturing is a very high fixed cost business. So when you have a quarter in which volumes are that strong, it tends to really drive down unit costs and gives a company a lot of bottom line leverage. So I think you're going to see a pretty significant EPS beat when they report after the close today. But really the focal point of the release will be their 2022 guidance, the timing of the ramp up at the Texas and Germany factories in the face of chip shortages and supply chain issues, and also next steps in its long-term growth plan, which is to grow their annual volumes by a factor of 40 between the years 2020 and 2030, getting to about 20 million units sold per year in the year 2030.
And Garrett, I know you had, you mentioned that 1250 was your base case. I'd love to know what the bull case is here. I mean, there are some risks that you noted in your note, including the obvious of competition, but regulatory risks, the potential of capital raises, weak sales growth than expected, those types of things. You did mention the expansion in India. There's a lot of things that are going on, but what is your bull case scenario here if 1250 is your base case, Garrett?
Sure. Our bull case of the next 12 months is about 1,400. So, but, going back to our base case, 1250, that's just assuming the stock gets to slightly above where it was in early November. Here, the stock has sold off nearly 25% since it hit that record high of over $1,200 in early November. So we don't think it's any stretch of the imagination that they can get there. The other thing I want to add is Tesla has become really good at under-promising and over-delivering over the last couple of years with their guidance. So don't be surprised if you see some relatively cautious commentary regarding, when the Cybertruck and Semi might debut. That's all part of the game is to set expectations low so you can exceed them later on.
Yeah, we've seen that from Elon Musk, and if he stops selling stock, which he did at least for now, that gives some relief to investors too. Ross, you said I want to hear more from Elon Musk about the Austin plant, Cybertrucks. These are some of the things that you're going to be looking for. At the same time, we all saw your Twitter feed where you were there driving a Lucid. So expand. What would you, just quickly, what would you ask Elon Musk? What do you really want to know? And what other EV makers do you really like?
Well, it's my goal to drive every EV, and I support all EV adoption from all the automotive players. And Lucid's been a car I've been following for a long time. It's the first time I've actually got to drive one. And thank you, meet Kevin Pathrath that came down with his Lucid right when he got it so that we could drive it together. And literally turned it over to me, which was a dangerous thing to do. And I had a really good time with it. The problem with the Lucid is the price is $175,000 is a very, very small market, and it has no brain and eyes. Teslas come with brains and eyes, and no other car actually has that. And when you get used to having a brain and eyes, it's really weird to go back to driving a regular vehicle. So all the other EVs are wonderful cars. I'm a really big bull on Polestar GGPI. They also make a great EV. I really like the Ford EVs, actually. And if they can make a great truck, I think they'll do very well. Rivian has a nice product. But I have to say, I've been very impressed with all of the EVs I've been driving recently. They're wonderful cars, and people should buy them. They save you a lot of money, and they take inflation out of your life immediately. So, I think we need to have cars that people can afford, and that's what Tesla's really focused on, is mass production, and Polestar having a car that's at a price point that people can afford. Like
Garrett, your buys. You had liked Lucid way before it made some big moves. Your buys are?
Yeah, so Lucid had a 280% run up last year. We've since gone to a hold on the stock. We like Ford and Rivian here. And Tesla. Those are our three buys.
Have you driven the Lucid, Garrett? Have you checked it out yet?
I have not personally driven it, but I was very bullish on the car when it was released last year.
Yeah, it's nice. They did a good job with it. I have been trying to get one for a long time, so I was pretty impressed. No, I have been. I've been trying to get in this.
All right, I have to leave it right there. I would love to hang out with Garrett and Ross for a long period of time and talk about our love of EVs and what the future will bring, particularly as we've seen oil on the run higher, which you mentioned as well. Gentlemen, great to see you both. Garrett Nelson of CFRA and Ross Gerber of Gerber Kawasaki Wealth and Investment Management. Thank you. And we'll watch for Tesla later because we'll have that for you here on the TD Ameritrade Network. I'm Nicole Petalides. Have a beautiful afternoon.